This is an Iceberg production.
Set up a new project. A couple of things. Start over. Today we're going to cover the 3 things on how to set up a new project. What I like to do for each video or each project is have a new project for it. So the first tip I have for setting up a new project is don't add every piece of work you do into the same project. Because you can see these file sizes don't seem like they're large, but as you add more and more to them, they start to stack up a little bit. And what's going to end up happening is your computer is going to have to work harder to open up that project because it's going to try to pull every piece of media to that project. So right off the gate, if this is for even a YouTube series or something like that, I will create a new project for the next video in the YouTube series. So the next one I'm going to be working on is a podcast project for Nikki. So I will highlight it, and I believe this was when we went to Miami. So I'll call it the Nikki Miami project. This will give me samples to pull media into. I'm not going to do all that. So I'll hit create. And then once it's created, I'll have my default setup for a project. And this is how my default setup is. These are the main plugins I use up here at the top. This is going to be the project panel where I dump the footage. And then also this is the effects controls where we'll manipulate most of them. Now I know this video is going to be in 4K. So I'll automatically start with the new sequence, go to my 4K custom here. If we don't know how to set up custom sequence sets, I'll do that on the next video. And I'll literally call it Miami Project YouTube. I'll hit OK. And so then now I have a 4K sequence set up with the exact presets that I like for my video edits for a 4K render. So I'll hit cancel. I don't need to change anything. Now, like I said before, the first thing, start a new project for each new video. Try not to stack it all together. The second thing is when you get your footage, try not to work from an external hard drive. As you'll see, I have a couple here's my main hard drive, here's a scan disk. But watch, I'll turn on my external hard drives here because I'm gonna pull footage from it. The more you force Premiere Pro to pull footage and work, there's a bigger chance for error. So I already have these videos footage saved on the external. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move them to my downloads folder to the Mac. Some people do it to their documents, whichever one you're more comfortable with. So here's my external hard drive. Let me get into a list format here. And I believe I saved it as Miami footage. I did. And I will pull that into the downloads folder. And you'll see here, it'll give me an estimated amount of time for it to transfer over. There's 348 pieces of footage in that folder. So as it loads up, it'll probably take a minute. Yeah, so it's gonna take, I want to say it take about maybe 3-5 minutes. Not too long, because then I can go to my downloads folder and you'll see it's already started right there. And the reason why I do that, like I said, is to cut down on the communication between Premiere Pro and my computer. You got to look at it as if, all right, if I'm working strictly off of my external hard drive, my computer has to communicate with Premiere Pro to communicate to my external hard drive to pull that footage to use during my project. And so it has to keep that constant communication open. And like anything else, if a conversation between 3 people, 4 people is a crowded conversation. But if I could just make that conversation between my desktop and Premiere Pro, you'll notice that your editing will go a little bit faster. And even like when you go to pre-render, it's a little bit easier for your computer to understand. And shout out to my people who have an M1 or M2 chip on their computer. On my laptop, when I'm working and I pre-render, it is super fast. So don't rely too heavy on working on external hard drives. I know some people like to just strictly put all their footage there, but that could be one of the problems why you're running into a lot of issues. And then thirdly, as this loads up, the other thing I like to do is if I do need something from a previous project to pull over, I'll open that project as well. Like I said, I don't want to always have a whole bunch of stuff open while I'm working on said project. So I keep Nikki's labeled as an S for Nikki Saunders. And so like her logos and things like that from a previous video, I will pull over. So this was the last YouTube video we did. Check it out when you get a chance. She goes over syllabi, but I'll open that project up and you can't really hear, but I hear my external hard drive working overtime. I hear my computer's working hard today. And so you see how it's trying to locate all the media. I delete everything as I don't need it. So I'll close all these out because because I won't need that. This I will need, so I will need something in that. I will need something from that. So I'll close that one, and then I go back to my project. This should be done, and it is. So then I will now pull it into my project. It'll tell me CR3 files. I don't care, that's okay. Those are just image files. And now I'm ready to start. So that's how I start my new projects. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments, and let me know what you guys want me to cover as I continue to show you guys more editing tips.